Hello friends, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. Harry Maguire is going to be the captain for the foreseeable future for Erik Ten Hag. He has said that in a press conference. It's all over Twitter, and I want to do a few of these videos where we kind of pick up off these interesting comments, try and break them down a little bit, and I'll ask you a few questions as well, because I believe that Ten Hag is right to say what he said, which is that Harry Maguire is the captain of Manchester United. Now, I've looked on Twitter and it's absolute chaos already. Already, let me show you this tweet straight off the bat, which gives you the direct quote from Dr. Yash. And Dr. Yash is, probably not the calm take I expected from a doctor. A la Madrid. So he's a Real Madrid fan. But anyway, can we all agree Harry Maguire is the worst player ever to captain Manchester United? That's accompanying this quote, which Erik Ten Hag said in his press conference. He was talking about Cristiano Ronaldo as well, which is another video for another time. What an absolute shit storm that is. But Harry Maguire is the captain. I have to get to know all the players, but he's an established captain and he's achieved a lot of success. Now, any quote that is positive towards Harry Maguire will lead to people getting very, very annoyed. And the fact that it says there at the end, and he's achieved a lot of success, is very easy to clip up and to pick apart. Because, I mean, he has been very, very poor in the last 12 months for Manchester United. Here's my take on it. Ten Hag is right to say that. First of all, because he hasn't got the squad that he wants. Right? He hasn't brought in any players. And if you're annoyed about Harry Maguire being captain, what you should really be annoyed about, once again, is the board. Because if the gaps and the problems within this squad, and also the fact that deep down they knew Erik Ten Hag was coming in with at least a month to go with the end of the season. And this is Manchester United. This is Manchester United. There's no reason why transfers couldn't have been made quicker. You knew players that were leaving. You knew you were trying to bring the age of the squad down, which has happened dramatically. This was one of the older squads going into this end of the season. Then you get to the end of the season. It's now a very, very young squad, actually, when you compare it to the others, because Juan Mata's gone, Pogba's gone, Cavani's gone. A lot of these players have gone, right? So what Ten Hag has got to do is he's got to build his squad. But he's also got to get results pretty quickly. And so when he says things like this, he has to say it, and he has to keep Harry Maguire on for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you just name me starters for Manchester United right now, there are very, very few. And I'm not talking captains, I'm saying starters. Okay? So when we've got starters for Manchester United, De Gea in goal, sure. Right back position, no, not guaranteed. Players coming through the door. Obviously, left back position, just signed Malacia. But you've got Luke Shaw there, Tellez there. They're all going to be battling for that position. Centre back, Varane, I think you could put forward with the amount of money, that he is worth. You should be putting him forward as a centre back that starts. Into midfield, do you want McTominay there as a starter moving forward? Fred, there'll be a few hipsters that go, yeah, but deep down, probably not. Eriksen, he's just come through the door. Will he be a starter? He's more likely probably to be a squad player and maybe play more games when it's the lesser sides, and certainly the Europa League as well. And then Bruno Fernandes, yep, okay, fine. And then up top, you've got Ronaldo, who doesn't want to be there. Rashford, who's been pretty terrible. Jadon Sancho, who's not hit the ground running at all as well. So these are problems that need to be remembered when you think about these quotes. He's also at a press conference and he's been asked this question. And it's it's the right question for a journalist to ask, because it will get clicks, and that's the world we live in right now. That's why I'm doing this video, because I know there's a lot of debate over Harry Maguire. But stripping him of the captaincy now, when you haven't even got another centre-back through the door, is really, really stupid, because you need to keep people on side. And what you would do by taking away the captaincy from Harry Maguire this second is that you pretty much cancel out any possibility for redemption for Harry Maguire. I think the long-term approach that you need to do is you sort of half back him, because you're still waiting for some of these players to come through the door. You go and get Martinez, who does have the attributes to be a captain. Of course, Daley Blind is the captain for Ajax, but he could come in and do that. But for someone to come in and be captain straight away is a big, big call. And at the moment, when you look at this Man United squad, there are no captains. In the comments right now, tell me who you would want to be the captain instead of Harry Maguire, who has had a pitiful season. Agreed. But the season before, when he finished second, there were no murmurings about Harry Maguire. Yes, he's fallen off a cliff. Yes, his form is terrible. Yes, I don't think he should be a starter moving on, because if you want to be the Man United that Man United want to be, then you have to be able to play four at the back. And you have to have a leftover defence where you've got two defenders who can work backwards and are good on the ball. I think Maguire can be good on the ball at times, but working backwards, that's not his forte. And so there needs to be a better starter. That's why someone like Martinez would be great coming through the door. But to just completely put him to one side a couple of weeks into it when he's one of the senior players, and when we look at the squad, again, name me another captain. Are you going to give it to David De Gea? You're going to give it to the goalkeeper? You know how I feel about that. It's just pointless. I don't really think there's any point in giving a goalkeeper the captaincy. Bruno Fernandes, huge question mark in my opinion of him being a captain, because I think at times he's inefficient. I'm intrigued to see what Ten Hag does with him and if he comes back to those former glories. Yes, the work rate's there. Yes, the tenacity's there. Yes, the desire's there. But I think he gets a bit of a long leash because he was so good in that first season, and he was. And there was leadership there because he set standards, or he wants to set standards. And maybe it was just such a mess last season that he's, I'm being harsh on him there. But for him to be the captain, maybe he's the only option at this moment in time to be the captain. But again, you belittle one of the members of the squad when you've got what feels like quite a thin squad in terms of first team starters. You can't give it to McTominay because, again, there's a message that comes out when you do that. There's a message when you go, no. And then maybe that's it. This is the thing. If he's a year in, maybe he does strip him of the captaincy, give it to someone else, and makes it very clear that he needs reinforcements now. But that's so obvious anyway. Again, what should Ten Hag do? I don't think there's anything else he can do apart from stand by him right now. The way you solve this is you go and get that centre-back, and you get it to a stage where, yes, he's club captain, Harry Maguire, but he isn't in the starting 11, and that gets you away from that captaincy problem. And again, the captaincy, yes, it's crucial. You look at Jordan Henderson and how integral he's been. Look at Vincent Kompany at Man City over the years. A captain can add a hell of a lot, but they can also just kind of be a bit of a figurehead. And I think there's so many other problems right now that kind of having too much of a focus on Harry Maguire still being the captain now when the season hasn't started yet, that shouldn't be the focus. The focus should be him not being in the starting 11. And it's going to be interesting to see how the next few weeks pan out, because they need to get moving quickly. Ten Hag has a system that he's going to want to put in place. He wants to get his hands on these players, and he wants the squad that he wants. And I look at that squad right now. Final question for the comments. What are you doing with that squad right now? I mean, you're always wondering when a coach comes in and has that quality possibly to raise it by 20% in everyone, have that structure going forward, which I don't think they've had. But the bottom line is you've got to have the players, and they don't have the players right now. It's the same problems. We did a video on the casualties that should occur when it comes to Ten Hag, and I think those casualties are there. They're literally just lying there on the battlefield. But the replacements aren't on their way. And things need to change quickly, and it's not about Ten Hag, who in a presser's got to get through that presser and just get past it without saying anything too outrageous. And so again, makes the obvious statement to go, he is the captain right now, and you back him. Because that's the thing. What, you're just going to throw everyone out? If you throw everyone out, you've got no one left, and they haven't got many players left at this moment in time. You guys might completely disagree with me. Let me know in the comments below. I've just seen a lot of people going crazy on Twitter about how is he still captain of this football club? I mean, how are a lot of players still at that football club? That is a club that structurally is a mess, is trying to get back on its feet, and still doesn't seem to be able to kind of get the pieces in place going into another season where they're just getting further and further away from what is going to be the hardest Premier League season on record, in my opinion. The hardest, because every single team in the Premier League is making very, very smart moves in the transfer window, and Man United aren't as of yet. They're signing Eriksen, who Eriksen isn't the answer. I think he's a great player to bring in, but you'd like to have done your business with the players that you really want, De Jong, Martinez, maybe another striker, and then go and sort that out afterwards. Go, yeah, it's the final pieces of the puzzle. at the moment, you're hoping that Man United are doing it backwards. But to focus and get angry about Harry Maguire being the captain this year is not looking at the real problem right now when it comes to Man United. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as we looked to march on to 200k. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.